Hi everyone, how are you? Okay, dears, this is RANA sir. Welcome to our RANA sir educational channel. Today I will talk on a topic whose name is motion in a plane. That is written in Hindi, that is समतल में गत. In this chapter, I will explain some numericals. That numericals is also based on any projectile which is moving downward from a given height, and also another question, a projectile which is moving at a height to upward direction. In both cases I have to find the time and also the projectile range, that is the range of the projectile, or in other words we can say that horizontal distance, that is the horizontal range when projectile will meet to the ground. So I will get the horizontal range. So all the concept of projectile, that is time of flight and horizontal range, and we have to also get what is the magnitude of the velocity vector when that is moving along the x-axis and also along the y-axis, and what will be its resultant. So all these informations I will explain in a particular question, and second question I will also start to solve, and that is also that question will have another concept. So those concepts I will also explain one by one. So you concentrate on this live video, and also you like this live video, and also you share this live video with your colleagues, friends and students, so that they can also update their knowledge on this topic. Simultaneously you also subscribe this educational channel more and more. Now additional information I am going to tell you, and you follow it positively. That is, first of all you have to take one notebook and one pen, and then you have to sit at your location properly, positively and safely, and then you have to write all data, that is all informations which are written on the blackboard by me, and also the spoken data by me. So those information will enhance your life. Okay students, so you follow it positively. Now I am going to start the solution of the spoken information. So first of all I will write one question here, and after writing I will explain all informations of the question, and then I will translate all information in Hindi, so students who are reading in Hindi medium, those students can understand easily. That is, students who are reading in UP board, those students can understand easily. Okay student, if anyone will have any doubt or any confusion or any query related to this topic, so you type in the comment section and positively send, and then after looking I will give the appropriate solution of your question. Okay students, so you follow it positively. Now I am going to write one question which is related to the time of flight of projectile and also horizontal range, and then we have to get the magnitude of the velocity along x-axis and also along y-axis. Now here I will write, if any object या any projectile which is available at a height 50 meter, if any projectile which has which has 50 meter above the ground, above the ground, and then that projectile is throwing that projectile is throwing with velocity 4 meter per second in the horizontal direction. In the horizontal direction. And that has the value of g 10 meter per second square. Find the horizontal range, horizontal range of the projectile, comma, time of flight, of projectile and its magnitude and its velocity magnitude and its velocity magnitude. So this information. So first of all, you have to get the horizontal range and then time of flight of projectile, and then we have to get its velocity magnitude. So all these three information I will calculate from the written question. Now in this question, information is available if any projectile which is available 50 meter above the ground, and then that projectile is throwing horizontally with velocity 4 meter per second, and after some time we will find the horizontal range and what is the time of flight of the projectile, that is what is the time and also its magnitude. We have to calculate all these information. Okay, so again I will explain it in Hindi, so student who are reading in Hindi medium, those student can understand its concept in detail. Okay, इसमें कहा गया है एक प्रोजेक्टाइल है, प्रोजेक्टाइल का मतलब ऑब्जेक्ट है या वस्तु है या कोई पिंड है, जो पिंड जो होता है ग्राउंड सरफेस से जो होता है 50 मीटर के ऊपर रखा गया है। अब उस 50 मीटर के ऊपर रखा गया, जिस पॉइंट पर रखा गया वहाँ से जो होता है 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड के वेग से जो होता है हॉरिजॉन्टली जो होता है क्षैतिज दिशा में प्रक्षेपित किया जाता है। प्रक्षेपित मतलब उसको थ्रो किया जाता है। तो कहा जाता है कि जब जिस पॉइंट से उसको थ्रो किया गया तो वहाँ से ग्राउंड तक आने में कितना समय लगा, उस समय को कैलकुलेट करना है और उसके बाद से उसका हॉरिजॉन्टल डिस्टेंस भी कैलकुलेट करना, मीन्स हॉरिजॉन्टल डिस्टेंस को हम हॉरिजॉन्टल रेंज के नाम से जानते हैं। और उसके साथ साथ जो होता है जब वो ऑब्जेक्ट जो होता है, वो ऑब्जेक्ट मीन्स प्रोजेक्टाइल जो होता है ग्राउंड को जब रीच करता है तो रीच करने के बाद से जो होता है उसका जो वेलोसिटी होता है उस वेलोसिटी का मैग्नीट्यूड भी कैलकुलेट करना। ओके स्टूडेंट, सो आई ऑलरेडी रिटेन हियर दिस इंफॉर्मेशन आई विल erase, and after erasing I will make its diagram and then I will give its appropriate solution. Okay students, so you concentrate on this live video. Okay, so for understanding this concept, because I will draw a parabolic path and that will be as, so here I am erasing it, and after erasing I will take a object here, projectile, that is a level. This is the ground. I will say this is the ground surface. This is the ground surface. So I have written here. This is the earth. EARTH. Earth surface. SURFACE. CP. This is the Earth's surface. Now, if projectile is available at this point, so I will draw a perpendicular distance, perpendicular line from the point to the Earth's surface. So this distance I have written in the question, that is 50 meter. So this distance is available 50 meter. So here I have written positively 50 meter. Now that projectile is throwing. That projectile is throwing downward. That projectile is throwing downward, and after some time that projectile will touch the ground axis. Suppose that I will say this is the point B. This is the point B, and this is the point A. From that point, that projectile is already projected. So along this axis, I will say. So along this axis, I will say that velocity is given here 4 meter per second. 4 meter per second, that is given. Okay. So 4 meter per second, that object is going downward. So after some time, that projectile here, that object here, that particle is moving from point A to point B. So we have to also calculate the time when that object will reach at the point B. So that time I will calculate, and after calculating, I will also calculate what is the horizontal distance. This horizontal distance is also known as, in other words, that is the horizontal range. So I will say this point will be O. So we have to also calculate OB. Now, if any projectile, that projectile will move downward, so I will say that projectile will go like this. So I will draw a velocity. That velocity will be along this, and I will draw a vertical velocity. That vertical velocity will be like this. So I have to take its resultant. That resultant will be like this. So I will say this vector plus this vector. This vector plus this vector will be this vector. This is the velocity. So vertical velocity I will calculate. Horizontal velocity I have to calculate. This velocity will be this one, but this velocity I will calculate. And then here I will say this is the 90 degree. This will be the 90 degree. So I will use Pythagoras theorem to find the length. Here I have to write written here. This is the point B, and this is the point. Suppose that I will say this is the point N1, and this will be the point N2. So N2. So here I will write its name. One is one N1. Here I will say this is the point B, and this is the point N1, and this is the point N2. So I will use Pythagoras in the value B N1 N2. So I will calculate this value B N1, and also B N1 N2 is also a value that is 4 meter per second. So this is the velocity along the x-axis, that is the horizontal axis. Same velocity I will calculate, and horizontal velocity I will calculate. Okay, and then I will use Pythagoras theorem to find the length B N2. So after getting the length B N2, so I will take its magnitude. So that magnitude will be the requirement of the resultant velocity. Okay, so all these information I will calculate one by one. So you concentrate here how I am going to calculate here. Now first of all I will write here solution. Now diagram is okay. Now here I will write additional information, because here I will say given that means information that is available in the question means small g, the value of g which is equal to 10 meter per second square, because it is going downward. Now the value of ux, that is available 4 meter per second, that is available. Now we have to calculate the time. So I will use second equation of motion. Second equation of motion I know, that is very easy. S is equal to u2 plus half at square. Now along the x-axis I have to calculate this one, but along the y-axis, along the x-axis the acceleration of this particle will be 0 meter per second square. Along the x-axis the value of ax will be 0. So I will calculate in this case range of the projectile from this point to that point. Okay, so this is the required way to calculate that. So I will use here the value of OB. So we have to calculate the value of OB. OB can be obtained. That is the horizontal distance. And that horizontal distance is written with this formula O. B is equal to R. Now second equation of motion I have to write here. S is equal to uxt plus ax into t square 1 by 2 s into t square. Now in the place of s I have to write R, and in the place of x I have to put 4 into, I have to find the value of t. Now 1 by 2, and the value of x is 0 because along the x-axis I have to put the value of acceleration, that is 0, into t square I have to put. Now if I will multiply any term with 0, that term will be 0. So R is equal to, here I have to write 4, that is 4 into t. Okay, now further I have to calculate the value of t because this height is given. So we have to use again second equation of motion to calculate the length, to calculate the time t, because if height is given, so I will use this formula s is equal to u2 plus half at square, because when object is coming downward, so the value of acceleration g, in other words we can say that here ay, which is equal to plus g, because ay is taken here negative. So in the downward direction the acceleration value will be positive, but from the point a to above, so its value will be negative. So I can write minus g above the a, but down of a will be plus. So it is coming downward, so I have to take the value of acceleration in downward, that will be plus g, and its value is given in the question 10 meter per second equal. Okay student, so this is the range. Now in this information, in this term I have to put the value of t, and then I will calculate the range. Okay student, so first of all next time I am going to also explain the value of t for calculating the value of t. So again I will write the information table, and then we have to calculate. Again I am going to write, s is equal to ut plus half at square. This is the second equation of motion, but motion is going upward, so I have to put upward. In the place of s I have to put h, and in the place of ux uy, in the place of u I will put uy, and then and along uy the vertical velocity will be 0 because it is moving forward direction, so its velocity will be 0. That is along the x-axis, so its velocity will be 0. Now the ax I have to write plus g, and its value is given 10 meter per second square. So I have to write the information in the equation. So in the place of yes I have to use h, and the value of h is given here 50 meter. So I have to write here 50 meter, which is equal to u. Then in the place of uy, that will be 0 into t plus 1 by 2. In the place of a I have to put 10 into t square. Okay, so this is the information, and I have substituted in this equation, and then I will simplify. After simplify, I will get the value of t, and that value I will substitute here. So after substituting, I will find the horizontal range of the projectile. Okay students, if you are getting any confusion or any doubt, so you are asked your confusion, your doubt, your query related to this topic positively, and I will see your comment positively, and then I will give the appropriate solution of your question. Okay student, so you follow it positively to get its right solution. Now further I am going to simplify. Here I have to put 50, and if any term which is multiplied with 0, that term will be 0. Now here I will say 10 divided by 2 into t square. So further I will simplify. After simplify, I will get its value, that is t is equal to, I will say 50 is equal to 10 divided by 2 into t square. So I will say here into 5 ja 2 5 ja 10. So I can write t square which is equal to 50 divided by 10. 50 divided by 5. So I will say 5 10 ja 50. So below data I will erase, and after erasing I will also find the value of t, which is equal to square root 10. So I will take its value, that is the square root of 10, that is 3 point, I can write 3.23. I can write this will be in second. Okay, so if I will substitute value of t in this range, so after substituting I will get this value, and that value will be the horizontal range from point O to B. So that is the horizontal range. Okay, I find if object is coming from A to B, so time is coming square root 2 seconds. So we have to do it positively. Okay, now all this information I will explain in Hindi. So student who are reading in Hindi medium, so those student can easily understand. इसमें कहा गया है कि एक प्रोजेक्टाइल है, प्रोजेक्टाइल का मतलब होता है ऑब्जेक्ट या वस्तु या कोई पार्टिकल या कोई पिन, वो पिन जो होता है और सरफेस से पृथ्वी के तल से जो होता है 50 मीटर की ऊंचाई पर रखा गया है, और पॉइंट ए से जो होता है हॉरिजॉन्टली जो 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड की रेंज से थ्रो किया जाता है, वो जो होता है डाउनवर्ड जो होता है अर्थ के सरफेस पर पहुंचता है, ए से बी तक पहुंचता है। तो कितना समय लगेगा उस समय को फाइंड आउट करना पहला क्वेश्चन। तो उस समय को फाइंड आउट करने के लिए हम जानते हैं गति का दूसरा समीकरण होता है एस बराबर mt प्लस हाफ ए टी स्क्वायर। उस फार्मूले को यूज करेंगे हॉरिजॉन्टल डायरेक्शन में जो होता है एक्सीलरेशन 0 होगा और वेलोसिटी डिस्टेंस होगा, और उसके बाद सिंपलीफाई करेंगे। तो सिंपलीफाई करने के बाद से हमको रेंज मिलेगा आर इक्वल टू पर हॉरिजॉन्टल डायरेक्शन में वेलोसिटी का वैल्यू जो होता है 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड लिए है। ओके, नाउ इसमें टी का हमें वैल्यू चाहिए, टी के वैल्यू को जानने के लिए टी का वैल्यू को फाइंड आउट करने के लिए हम जानते हैं कि ग्राउंड के सरफेस से पृथ्वी के सरफेस से जो होता है 50 मीटर की ऊंचाई पे जो होता है उस पिंड या प्रोजेक्टाइल या पार्टिकल को रखा गया है। इस केस में हम फिर से ये जो होता है हमने जो रेंज निकाला हुआ रेंज जो होता है एक्स एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में निकाला, अब हम जो वाई एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में निकालेंगे। इस तरीके से सेकेंड इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन यूज करेंगे, एस इज इक्वल टू यूटी प्लस हाफ ए टी स्क्वायर। देखिए एस की जगह पर हमने एच को रखेंगे और एच की जगह पर वाई रखेंगे जो पार्टिकल में करता है। पार्टिकल जो होता है वेलोसिटी का वैल्यू 0 होगा क्योंकि हॉरिजॉन्टल में से वेलोसिटी दिया गया है। उसके बाद से हम एक्सीलरेशन की बात करेंगे। तो एक्सीलरेशन जब इस पॉइंट से जो होता है एवं मूव करेगा तो जी का मान एक्सीलरेशन का मान -3 होगा, जो इस पॉइंट से डाउनवर्ड डायरेक्शन में मूव करेगा। इस केस में जी का मान प्लस होगा और जी का मान 9.8 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर लेते हैं या 3 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर लेंगे। एज पर रिक्वायरमेंट पर हमारे क्वेश्चन में जी का मान मिलता है 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड सेकेंड दिया गया है। इसलिए यहाँ से जो होता है नॉर्मल मूव करता है, इसका वैल्यू को हम 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर लेंगे। उसके बाद से ये जो यू वाई टी प्लस हाफ जी टी स्क्वायर के फार्मूले को यूज किए और एस को वैल्यू करके 10 मीटर को वहाँ पर सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे और जी को मान लेकर 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड 10 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे, उसको सिंप्लीफाई करेंगे। सिंप्लीफाई करने के बाद से हमने टी का वैल्यू को स्क्वायर रूट 10 सेकेंड हमने ऑब्टेन किया। अब इस टी के वैल्यू को जो है इस रेंज के एक्सप्रेशन में रखेंगे, तो सिंप्लीफाई करने के बाद से जो वैल्यू पाएंगे वो रेंज का वैल्यू होगा। इस तरीके से हम कर सकते हैं कि पॉइंट ए से प्रोजेक्टाइल पॉइंट बी पर पहुँचता है, उसमें टाइम जो होता है वो 10 सेकेंड मिलता है। 10 सेकेंड में वो पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी तक पहुँचता है। देखिए रेंज जो होता है 4 × टी होता है। टी का वैल्यू जब सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे तो यहाँ पर 4 × 10 मीटर रखेंगे। हमने कैलकुलेशन जो होता है मीटर में लिया है, इसलिए हमारा रेंज जो होता है 4 × 10 मीटर होगा। इसलिए एक सोल्यूशन ये हुआ और नेक्स्ट सोल्यूशन हमको ये कैलकुलेट करना है कि जब पॉइंट को बी पाया तो बी को लिखता है इस वेलोसिटी का हमने रिजॉल्व किया। वेलोसिटी का डायरेक्शन इधर है, वेलोसिटी का डायरेक्शन इधर है। इसके मैग्नीट्यूड को फाइंड आउट करने के लिए हम यहाँ से वाई कंपोनेंट को निकाला और एक्स कंपोनेंट जो होता है यहाँ से एक्स कंपोनेंट का वैल्यू जो होता है वेलोसिटी का 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड दिया है। उसी तरीके से जब ऑब्जेक्ट जो होता है प्रोजेक्टाइल होता है पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी आएगा तो यहाँ से जंप करेगा एवं हॉरिजॉन्टली जंप करेगा। हॉरिजॉन्टली मतलब वाई एक्सिस के पैरेलल जंप करेगा, तो वाई एक्सिस के पैरेलल में जो वेलोसिटी निकालेंगे तो वो वेलोसिटी यह होगा बी n1 होगा और n1 वेलोसिटी जो होता है यह एक्स एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड दिया गया। इसमें राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल यहाँ पर हम देखें तो बी n1 n2 का एक राइट एंगल ट्रायंगल है। इसमें हम पाइथागोरस थ्योरम को अप्लाई करेंगे। पाइथागोरस थ्योरम कहता है कि कोण का वर्ग बराबर आधार का वर्ग प्लस लंब का वर्ग। इस फार्मूले को यूज करके हम बी n2 का वैल्यू निकालेंगे। वो हमारा इसका परिणामी वेग हुआ। ओके, सो अकॉर्डिंग टू दिस वे वी हैव टू कैलकुलेट द रिजल्टेंट मैग्नीट्यूड ऑफ द वेक्टर। ओके, so I have calculated the time that is coming from A to B and also range that is from O to B. Now we have to also calculate the resultant of the velocity B n. Okay, so you concentrate here how we have to calculate here. So you listen one by one and you have to find its concept one by one to solve any other question which will be parallel to this one. Okay, now we have to calculate the resultant vector. Here I will write, we know that velocity along ux axis that is 4 meter per second because we have to use it. Now I will say if object is coming from A to B, so it will move upward direction. So I have to calculate velocity along upward direction, that is t is equal to u plus at. Now here I write dy which is equal to uy plus ay into t. Okay, because all these information I have to calculate. Dy we have to calculate. Uy will be 0 because along y axis there is no any velocity. So here I have to put the value of uy that is 0 and ay I will say it is moving upwards, so its direction will be above. Now it is coming in downward direction, so its value will be plus g means 10 meter per second square and t I have calculated here. So in this value I will substitute and after substituting we will get the value of uy. Okay, similarly uy I have already got. Vy already I have got. Now here I will say Vy is this one. Now after calculating it, I will use Pythagoras theorem. After using Pythagoras theorem, I will get the resultant magnitude of the magnitude of the velocity that would be here. Okay, so positively unwanted data is not necessary now, so I will erase those and waste information. I will say that is the value of n, that is r is equal to 4 into root 10, that is the root 10, that is written in meter, but it is calculated in meter. Okay, now I will erase it, and after erasing I will get the magnitude velocity, magnitude velocity, magnitude velocity which is represented with that will be in the square. I will say ux whole square plus vy. Here I will say this is the final vy whole square. Okay, so value of ux is 4 and vy is already available. I have to calculate here vy, because here I will substitute here vy, which is equal to ey, that will be 0, and then I have to put ay, that is along negative y axis, its value will be 10, and the value of t I have to substitute from here. So value of t is also 10. So here I write 10 to 10. This is the velocity along y-axis, negative y-axis. So Vy is already a mean 10 into root 10 meter per second. This is the velocity along negative y-axis. Okay, now in the above formula I will substitute, and after substituting I will get a value, and that value will be the magnitude of the velocity. Okay, students, I hope that you are understanding very well. So you like this live video, and also you share this live video with your colleagues, friends and students, so that they can also update their knowledge on this topic. Possibly I am going to resolve the question, that is I am going to erase data which is unwanted and necessary data I will use possibly. So the value of ux that is given here 4 meter per second. I will put this square, and the value of vy that is given 10 whole square. I have to put like this, and then I will take this square. So it will be 16 plus here will be 10 into 10, that will be 100, and then I will say this will be 10. So after simplify I will say now this is the value of velocity above data I will erase. After erasing I will say this is the velocity magnitude which is equal to, here I have to write 16 plus 100 into 10, that is 1000. Now I will simplify, that is I will again add, so 6101. So its value I have written like this. Now further I will take its square root. So after taking its square root, that will be in meter per second. So this is the required answer of my question. This is the resultant of the velocity when any projectile is moving from point A to point B. So I have taken a velocity that is along horizontal axis, that is 4 meter per second, but along y-axis I have got 10 into 10 meter per second. Now I have also calculated what is the time that is taken by the projectile from point A to point B, that is 10 meter 10 second, root square root 10 second. And also I have also calculated the projectile range, that is from O to B. That is written here. R is equal to 4 into root 10 meter. So this is the required information of the question. So according to this way, if any question will be asked, so I can solve, because here I have to use there are three types of equation of motion. First, equation of motion 2 and also equation of motion 1 I will use to find the required value. Equation of motion 3 I can also use, but according to small calculation I will assume, and after assuming I will apply the appropriate formula for evaluating the required concept which is asked in the question. Okay student, so I hope that you are understanding very easy way. So I will say, if you will get any point which is necessary, that is which is important, so you like this live video, and also you share this live video with your colleagues, friends and students, so that they can also update their knowledge on this topic, and simultaneously you also subscribe this educational channel. Okay, now here I will say one additional information, and that is very very important, because all this information one time I will explain in Hindi, so students who are reading in Hindi medium, those students can understand and easily. That is, students who are reading in UP board, those students can understand easily. इसमें कहा गया था कि एक प्रोजेक्टाइल मतलब ऑब्जेक्ट मतलब पार्टिकल मतलब कोई वस्तु होता है या कोई पिंड होता है, या कोई भी वस्तु जो जितने भी हम अपने आँखों से देखते हैं वो सभी वस्तु जो होता है वो प्रोजेक्टाइल होता है या पिंड होता है। तो वो पिंड जो होता है इस पृथ्वी के सरफेस से जो होता है 50 मीटर के ऊपर रखा गया है, लेकिन उस ऑब्जेक्ट को या उस प्रोजेक्टाइल को 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड के वेग से 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड के वेग से हॉरिजॉन्टली थ्रो किया जाता है। थ्रो करने के बाद से वह एक पाथ को एक्वायर करता है, वह एक पैराबोलिक पाथ होता है। उस पैराबोलिक पाथ में पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी तक आने में कितना टाइम लगा है, उस टाइम को कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं किए हैं सेकेंड इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन की हेल्प से। उसके बाद से एक्स एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में जो होता है हम ऑब्जेक्ट रेंज को कैलकुलेट किया, हम जानते हैं एस इक्वल टू यूटी प्लस हाफ ए टी स्क्वायर। एक्स एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में एक्सीलरेशन का वैल्यू 0 है, क्योंकि उसमें जो होता है ग्रेविटी नहीं है, क्योंकि ग्रेविटी जो होता है जब कोई भी ऑब्जेक्ट होता है वर्टिकल मूव करता है उसमें ग्रेविटी आता है, और जेंटल मूव करेगा ग्रेविटी नहीं होगा, उसके समय एक्सीलरेशन 0 होगा। तो उस फार्मूले को यूज करके हमने वर्टिकल रेंज को फाइंड आउट किया। उसके बाद से हम देखें कि जब पॉइंट बी जो होता है वो ऑब्जेक्ट को रीच करता है, ऑब्जेक्ट को रीच करता है, इस पॉइंट को जो होता है हम इस पॉइंट को हम ऑर्बिटल कंपोनेंट को रिजॉल्व किया, ऑर्बिटल कंपोनेंट को रिजॉल्व किया, तो हम देख रहे हैं कि एक ट्रेंगल होता है, यह ट्रेंगल होता है राइट एंगल ट्रेंगल होता है। तो वो हॉरिजॉन्टल वेलोसिटी मालूम है 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड है, वेक्टर वेलोसिटी को कैलकुलेट करने के लिए हम जानते हैं कि फर्स्ट इक्वेशन ऑफ मोशन जो होता है p बराबर u प्लस ए टी होता है, कि y इज इक्वल टू यू वाई प्लस यू ए वाई इंटू टी। यू वाई जो होता है वर्टिकल वाई एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में वेलोसिटी 0 है, क्योंकि एक्स एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में दिया गया, वाई एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में वेलोसिटी 0 हुआ। इस तरीके से वी वाई जो होता है ए वाई इंटू टी होगा, टी का वैल्यू हमने कैलकुलेट किया, ए वाई का वैल्यू दिया गया है 3 मीटर पर सेकेंड स्क्वायर, उसका वैल्यू सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे तो पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी तक जाने में जो टाइम लगा उस टाइम को फाइंड आउट कर लेंगे। ओके, उसके बाद से उस वैल्यू को टी का वैल्यू जो था सब्स्टिट्यूट करेंगे, रिंग वाले एक्सप्रेशन में हमें रिंग मिल जाएगा। अब हम जानते हैं कि एस एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में जो होता है हमारा वेलोसिटी 4 मीटर पर सेकेंड दिया गया है, और वाई एक्सिस के डायरेक्शन में हमने वेलोसिटी कैलकुलेट किया है। तो इस ट्रेंगल या ट्रेंगल देख रहे हैं कि राइट एंगल ट्रेंगल, इसका मतलब समतल त्रिभुज होता है। एक त्रिभुज के 3 कोण में से कोई एक कोण 90 डिग्री होगा, रिमेनिंग कोण या एंगल जो होता है अलग होगा, कोई बात नहीं, लेकिन एक कोण 90 डिग्री होगा, तो उस कोण को हम उस त्रिभुज को हम क्या कहेंगे, समतल त्रिभुज कहेंगे। तो उसमें जो होता है पाइथागोरस को हम अप्लाई करेंगे, अप्लाई करने के बाद से कर्व के वैल्यू को हम फाइंड आउट करेंगे, क्योंकि इसमें आधार का वैल्यू और लंब का वैल्यू मालूम है, तो कर्व का वैल्यू हम इजीली फाइंड आउट कर सकते हैं और पाइथागोरस थ्योरम को यूज करके। इस तरीके से हम रिजल्टेड परिणामी वेलोसिटी को पा सकते हैं, वेग को पा सकते हैं, परिणामी वेग को पा सकते हैं, हॉर्जन पर क्षैतिज ह्रास को पा सकते हैं और पॉइंट ए से पॉइंट बी तक जाने में कितना समय या टाइम लगा है उस टाइम को कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। सो दीज आर द रिक्वायर्ड इंफॉर्मेशन। आई होप दैट यू आर अंडरस्टैंडिंग वेरी easy way. So you like this slide video and also you share this slide video with your colleagues and please so that they can also update their knowledge on this topic. Okay, now I hope that you are understanding very well. Okay, again next question I will also explain. I will write and after writing all the concept I will explain. After explaining I will also give the appropriate solution of after written question. Okay, so first after writing question, so first of all I will erase this one and after erasing this solution and then I will write new, that is next question and related to this topic and I will give the appropriate solutions. Okay, so you present here from starting to end to understand all concept and how the numericals of the any projectile which is moving in a plane, how all required informations are calculated one by one. So you concentrate here and also you take its advantage of this history and manipulation classes and you take its advantage more and more. Okay, so first of all I will write question after writing question I will explain its meaning and explaining it meaning and design and the requirement of the question. Okay, so I will highlight to write your question number 3. Now here I am going to write a projectile which is moving above that is from ground, that is from ground, that point and distance 500 meter and then angle of inclination is 30 degrees from horizontal axis. From horizontal axis. Find its horizontal range. And also find time when it is coming from point A to point B on the ground. So this is the required question and all informations are available here. Now here I will say one projectile which is available 5 meter above the ground, and that is projecting at 30 degree from the horizontal axis. At this angle is available from the 50 degree from the horizontal line, and it is projected above the ground. It is projected from the above the point A with velocity. I will say that velocity is 50 meter per second. So that velocity here I am going to write that velocity is 50 meter. I will say 20 meter per second. That velocity is available 20 meter per second. So we have to calculate the range of the projectile and also the time when that projectile is coming from point given point A to point B, and this B point is available on the ground of the circle, on the ground that projectile will reach at the ground at point B. So we have to calculate the time also. We have to calculate time. So here I have written information, and these informations are important because here I have to consider, I have to draw a diagram, and in that diagram I will show the horizontal ground, and after horizontal ground I will take a length 500 meter above the ground, and from that point I will project the projectile with velocity. This one for angle of inclination is given here 30 degrees. So we have to find the time from the point A to point B, and also we have to calculate the horizontal range of the projectile. So these are the information, and all these informations are available in the question, and then one by one each and every requirement I will find. Okay, so first of all I will also translate all these information, that is this question in Hindi. So student who are reading in Hindi medium or student who are reading in UP board, so those student can understand its solution easily, because if they will read any other question parallel to this, so those student can get easily its solution. Okay, so first of all I will go to take its concept in English. ओके, इसमें कहा गया है एक प्रोजेक्टाइल मतलब ऑब्जेक्ट होता है या कोई भी पार्टिकल होता है, कोई भी फिल्म होता है जो पृथ्वी की सतह से 500 मीटर ऊपर है, ऊपरी वर्टिकल दूरी पर रखा गया, वहाँ से जो होता है 20 मीटर पर सेकेंड के वेग से जो होता है उसको ऊपर की तरफ प्रोजेक्ट किया जाता है, लेकिन हॉरिजॉन्टल एक्सिस से 30 डिग्री के एंगल पर वो प्रोजेक्ट किया जाता है। तो जिस पॉइंट से प्रोजेक्ट किया गया उस पॉइंट से जब पॉइंट पृथ्वी के तल पर पहुँचता है पॉइंट बी तक, तो ए से बी के बीच आने में, ए से बी तक आने में जो टाइम लगा है उस टाइम को कैलकुलेट करना है। और जब 500 मीटर की दूरी पर जो ग्राउंड से रखा गया वहाँ पर लाइन ड्रा करेंगे, जो एक्स एक्सिस पर या ग्राउंड एक्सिस पर दूरी मिलेगा वहाँ से, और पॉइंट बी के बीच का डिस्टेंस कैलकुलेट करेंगे, उसको हॉरिजॉन्टल रेंज के नाम से जानते हैं या हॉरिजॉन्टल क्रॉस के नाम से जानते हैं। ओके, सो ऑल दिस इंफॉर्मेशन आई विल सब्स्टिट्यूट इन द diagram, and then I will give the appropriate solution of this written question. Okay student, so you concentrate here. I am going to give a solution. Okay, now I am going to make here one ground surface. This is the ground surface. I will say this is the ground surface. Ground surface. This is very important. Okay, now one projectile is present at point A. Now here I will say this is the distance 500 meter from the earth. I have written. Now I will draw a line which is parallel to the ground axis. Now from this one projectile is flowing and that is coming like this. Okay, so this point I will say A and this point I will say B. Now this angle of increase is given 30 meter, but this velocity is given here 20 meter per second. Here I will write its velocity and that velocity indicated with u, and the value of u is given here 20 meter per second. Okay, so this written data I will also read because there is no extra space to keep its solution question here. Okay, now this is the ground surface I have already written. Now from the point A I have drawn a line which is vertical and with horizontal axis. Yeah, you can see that the ground surface it is 90 degrees, so it is perpendicular with 90 degree will be. So I will say line this one will be parallel perpendicular. So here AN line will be perpendicular to NB line. Okay, so now we have to calculate the time. Now I will write here first of all solution. First of all I will write here solution, and then I will write given the information which are given in the question. To the information I will write here properly. So velocity is given also here 20 meter per second. Now the object is moving downward, not upward, it is moving downward. So I will say the velocity along negative y-axis that will be minus u sin theta. That will be u sin theta because negative y-axis, positive y-axis I write the velocity that is u sin theta, but that will be positive y-axis. But negative y-axis I will write minus u sin theta. The value of velocity that is given here u is given here 20 meters, so I will write 20 meter, and then here I have put sin 30 degree because theta is given 30 degree, so I will simplify this value 20 into sin 30, that will be 1 by 2. So I will simplify into that into. So its value will be minus 10 meter per second. So value of dy that is negative axis I have got its value, that is minus 10 meter per second. Okay, now I will use second equation of motion to calculate its value. I know that s is equal to ut plus half at square. In the place of s I will write that is for 500 meter, that is distance from point A to A, and in the place of u I will put this value. Now in the place of A I have 50, and in the place of AY that will be 10 meter per second. Okay, so further I will write here table information as according to second equation of motion, according A plus E to R DIND, according to second equation of motion. According to second equation of motion I have to write here, that is s is equal to ut plus half at square. This is the second equation of motion. Now positively I will simplify here. In the place of s I will write here, and in the place of u I will write here, that is uy negative 50 plus 1 by 2 I write ay into t square. I will substitute the value here uy negative and ay also in this equation. I will say this is the equation number 1. After substituting I will get a expression in the form of t, that is I will get a equation in the form of t, and then I will simplify. After simplify I will get a value of t, and that t value I will get that will be the time if projectile F will be a object which is moving from point A to B, and then I will calculate length N B, that is the horizontal range. Okay, so the value of uy is -10. I have to substitute in above. Okay, so here I write in the place of h I have to put here 500, and now in the place of uy, that is -10, I write here -10 into here I have to put t, and then plus half ay, that is 10 into t square. Okay, further I will simplify. So here I will say 500, which is equal to -10t, and then here I will say 2 5 10, so that will be 5t square. Again I will divide into 5, so I will divide 5 on both sides, so here will be 500 divided by 5, that will be 100. Here 5 to the 10, and this will be 5 to the 5. So here I have got a equation. I have got a equation in T. So I will use Pythagoras theorem. I will use Sukhar's law to find the value of T. Okay. So for the above data I will edit, and after editing I will calculate the value of T. Okay. So here I will write expression, that is T square minus 2t, and it will go in left hand side. I will put here T is equal to T. So I will use here the concept of Sukhar's method, and then I will take its value. Okay. So I say here, in other words I can also take. So here I will write T minus 1 whole square minus 1 minus 100, which is equal to 0. Again I will write imply that T minus 1 whole square minus 101 in the square root. I have to arrange like this, is equal to 0. So this is in the form of a square minus b square. We call in the place of a, b star is a value, in the place of b star is a value. So I will apply a square minus b square. This will be a square minus b square. Its solution will be in one bracket I will write a minus b, and in other bracket I will say that is a plus b. So after using this formula, and then I will get the t. So t minus 1 and other value minus the square root 101 whole square. So I will use this formula to find the value of t. Okay. So above that I will indicate, and after this I will simplify to find the value of t. So I will say imply that t minus 1 minus 101 in one bracket, and in other bracket I will write t minus 1 plus 2 under 101. Okay, which is equal to 0. So I will say this term can be 0 or this term can be 0. So after substituting 0, so I will say I will find 1 plus in the square 101, and other value of t will be 1 minus 1 divided by 1. Okay, so I have got this value of t. So its unit is second. So this will be 10 more than 10, so it will be negative. So we will not consider the value of negative, because always if any point A, if any object A, any part A, any projectile which is moving from point A to B, so it will take positive time. So this will be our answer. So t is equal to 1 plus the square root. I have to write 101. This is the second. With this second here, within this second that party will move from point A to B. Now we have to get also length N B. So I will write the second equation of motion for getting the length N B. Okay. So further this information is important. important because in that when I will calculate range, so this time is needed there, so I have to save this time for substituting there. Okay, so because here is no space, so I will give it here and this way I have substituted there. So after substituting, now I have to get the length EMB. EMB is equal to horizontal length over horizontal length. Here I have to write that is the horizontal length, and that can be obtained by the formula is equal to MT VHT plus of AX T square. Now here I will say yes each R. So here I write UX bracket U cos theta into T, and here I will put 1 by 2 AX will be 0 because along the X axis there will be no gravity, so its value will be 0. So here I will put T square. Now here I will write T R equal to U. The value of U is every input meter per second, so I will put here per meter, and then here I have to cos 30 degree into T, and in any number, any quantity multiplied with 10 will be 0. Now further I will simplify 20 into 30 degree, that is 3 divided by 2 into the value of T. Accordingly I can written here in the bracket 1 plus in the square bracket right 1. Okay, I will simplify 2 and the 2 into the 20. So after simplify I will write 10 to 3 in the bracket. I will write 1 plus in the square bracket 1 0, and this is the range. This is the range. This is the answer of the range, and this is the answer of the time from point A to B, and then M B is the horizontal range, and that range I have calculated here. 10 into root 3 in the bracket I have written 1 plus root under 101. This is in meter. In the place of root 3 I have to take its square root. It will become 1.7 1.732, and here I will calculate, so I will get 10 points something. Okay, so further I will say this is also answer. So positively you have to formulate. Okay, this is one answer, and this is second answer I have got it. Okay, so according to this way, any question which are related to projectile or motion in a plane, those questions can be solved easily, because sometimes can be also find the time of flight of projectile, horizontal range of the projectile, and also magnitude of the velocity of the projectile. In other words, if any object which is moving from point A to B, what will be the time duration? That time duration we will get by using the formula S is equal to into plus half AT square. This is the second equation of motion. Okay, I hope that you are understanding very well. Okay, so अगर ये वीडियो आप समझते हैं इतनी, तो इस वीडियो को ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा लाइक करें, शेयर करें, सब्सक्राइब करें अपने कलीग्स के साथ, फ्रेंड्स के साथ और विद्यार्थियों के साथ, दैट इज स्टूडेंटों के साथ, ताकि उनका भी नॉलेज इस पॉइंट पर अपडेट और डेवलप हो सके। इस वीडियो में इतना ही, अगली वीडियो में फिर मिलते हैं। जय हिंद। राणा सर फॉर वॉचिंग दिस लाइव वीडियो।